Kita nak masuk ke tajuk seterusnya.
Tajuk seterusnya My Zawji lagi lebih ni because ada anak-anak kan.
I just want to touch on the subject of sacrifice tadi, Ustaz. Because as we know, the children, when we talk about children in marriage, kan, and when we talk about the subject of divorce, the children is central to sacrifice, this entity of sacrifice. Having gone through this one phase of divorce myself, for example, again, that was really upmost in my mind actually, because you look yourself in the past as a child, and then you get into an environment where you relate yourself, where by orang tua dulu memang kerap gaduh juga. A lot of households were like that back in the 60s and even the 50s, because then things were not very, orang kata, developed, and then a lot of the families were very poor, especially Malay families, kan? And of course, because the country was less developed, so there were a lot of problems kan, at home. But then we kids always tended to appreciate that the institution of the marriage from our families or from our own parents were very, something like rock solid. Macam mana difficulties they went through, not many people, there was not many divorces, I suppose, during those days, because the institution was very strong. As children growing up in that kind of environment, you sort of appreciate that through all the storms that your parents went through, they are still together. Because you can't imagine, if you are a child, you can't imagine how it would be if your mother and your father is separate from each other, you see. So having been from that background, now you become a parent, and then you have children of your own, kan? And then the same thing happens to you, And then you look at your children, you kata, if I do this, they are not going to be very happy with me, for example, kan? Jadi probably that's the reason why you hold on to that sacrificial punya, orang kata, tajuk tu.
Because the definition is based on you.
Based on our experience. Jadi I didn't like to see, I appreciated my parents, tolerating each other until the end, for example. They could have easily divorced along the way, kan? Kita ni sikit je dah nak pergi. So you hold on as much as you can. Kan? But macam Ustaz kata tadi, it's so beautiful. Islam has got all the rules set out, And at the end of the day, if you went through that difficult, phase, that moment where you mention your talak, however difficult it is for you to do it, And it was very difficult for me.
This is actually the first time I have macam experience like listening to a man, talking about divorce.
Yeah, because the children is central to your theme. You can't.
We
have emotions too, Yeah. But for the children, you can't imagine how it would be like for them to go through that kind of situation. So you try to hold on, But you know that by holding on, you're only creating an environment detrimental to not only to yourselves, but as Ustaz mentioned, to the children eventually. That's why I think the Sheikh came into a period of my life where he really changed. It was a very telling moment where he went through, I suppose, the rigmaroles of following the Sunnah to the letter by arranging a series of interviews, with not only myself and my ex-wife, but the children themselves. I thought that was amazing, And of course, now looking back, you see the wisdom in that. And then sekarang ni memang betul, macam Ustaz kata, they respect us more. They seem to understand better. Had I hold on, for reasons, on my own selfish reasons, I think it would have been more detrimental to the environment. And that was amazing. So, memang betul, whatever that Islam has laid for us in the Sunnah to practice in every situation, especially in divorce as well, ikutlah. Just follow the Sunnah and the examples to the letter, and you won't go wrong.
I'm quite surprised bila tahu saya ada macam buat the interviews, macam tanya, because macam kita sebagai anak kita rasa macam my thought counts. macam in this big decision, macam kadang-kadang kan macam parents have to decide for themselves. I do have macam children coming to me, macam ceritalah macam sebenarnya rasa memang nak sangat mak bapak tu biar bercerai je, because sometimes macam two angry parents lagi memeningkan kepala daripada two separate house. Macam nak tambah mana-mana silakan.
Our topic also tim parenting pening.
Parenting pening betul.
Dia pening lah seketika memang kan. Because everybody yang start a family tak ada niat begitu. We always plan for the best kan. Our happiness, children make happiness. Tapi kadang-kadang Allah lebih mengetahui kan. So when this thing happen actually, we also must honor the right of the children. We as a person, as a husband, have our right. A wife, a woman also have her right. But kadang-kadang kita orang tua terlupa hak anak-anak. I think dulu macam orang tua-tua kita hold on because tak banyak ujian pressure yang tambahan dari luar. Korang gangguan kan. Jadi they just hold on and children choice tak banyak dan anak-anak pun alhamdulillah lah teruskan hidup kan. They are careful, they know how to control their temper. And even they don't like, but they know how to control lah. Suasana ujian korang dengan zaman moden ini sekarang dengan YouTube ini, dengan IT ini susah kan. Tapi dan kita lupa hak anak. That's why when Hakam is concerned, Hakam have to look into that to make sure how prepared the children is. Their children kalau kecil, there's nothing for you to talk to them. That one is up to the parents sekarang. Good ending, give the best to the child. The child will not miss anything. Itu saja. The child will learn how to grow dan terima takdir.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, I still have a father and a mother. You see, even they are not together, but they still take care of me, love me. I get the full love from this side, I get the full love from that side. Still move on lah dia punya life. Tapi children kita bila tak engage, kalau yang sudah dewasa sikit, that means we have ignored their right. And that's why we must also talk to them. Sometimes is interesting. Bila you tanya anak-anak pun kesian. Dia pun nak mereka itu berpisah dengan baik. Tapi kerana dia mak bapak takut kerana perpisahan boleh mengganggu pemikiran anak-anak. So they hold on. But while they are holding on, you know lah, you can see there's no peace in them. Bukan? Bapak balik saja, mak punya muka berubah. Bukan? Contohnya. Jadi anak-anak pun serba salah. So but anak also yang sudah grown up feel, I think why not? If papa feel like that or mama feel like that, just have a good ending. Kadang orang tua niat baik. Hold on for the sake of the children. But in the same time, we fail to play our role. Nampak tak? Kita adult must know how to play our role. Kalau dia tak boleh, then better have a good ending. So when we engage the children said, I think it is better. Then okay, we understand. That means we also prepare the children to accept the qadar.
Before tu, sebelum nak buat interview tu, maksudnya parents yang nak bercerai ni pun kena jadi kawan jugalah. Let us find out apa anak-anak kita fikir.
Yeah, we interview dulu. What do you all want? Okay, can we have this good
Sebab
ending?
dia bukan lagi interview untuk kau nak tim mana. Kau nak tim mana. So the kids dia tak ada rasa, oh if I choose this, I'm betraying this one. If I choose this, I'm betraying this one. Subhanallah, it can be civil.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, Islam is so beautiful. There's always ways out to solve your problem. Just follow what Allah and the Prophet have shown us. Itu saja. Selama ini kita tak terdedah tau.
Kita tak ikut.
Kita hanya ikut kebiasaan. What people say, perasaan kita kan. We forgot that kita been asking Allah, ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Tunjuk kami jalan yang betul, jalan lurus. coming in also ada jalan lurus, nak keluar pun ada jalan lurus. Bukan. Just follow lah, tapi kita permulaan minta, pengakhiran tak minta.
Macam
That's
tadi
right.
lah saya kata yang, you're so concerned about the feelings of the children, but actually you're not.
Correct.
You're not. And it takes, I mean, as a father, and as I gave you the background tadi kan, the background is that you've seen your own father and mom at that position before in your life years ago. And then you think that's what you like out
for
of
the children.
that result. So you try to apply to your own children. But at the end of the day, as Ustaz says, what you think is good for your family might not be good for them actually. Until you get yourself into a state where you see the wisdom of the Sunnah.
You engage lah.
Yeah. So you need, I think to me, you need a third party, especially a knowledgeable third party, a scholar, to come in.
No.
Kalau macam if we
Show you the way lah.
third person,
No. It depends lah. It depends.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to do that lah, Yeah, because between the parents themselves, they won't be able to understand this. I don't think, not their time, not at the heat of the moment, where you just see each other's faults really, more than anything else. So you are, so you need knowledgeable third party, because we have third parties as well. Say for example, our families, for example,
Yeah, correct.
they are there to advise, but they give the wrong advice. Obviously, because they take sides. Betul tak? Jadi the man's family will take the side of the man, and similarly on the other side, sama lah. So you can't have a neutral, orang kata, stand, so to speak, until you get, a knowledgeable so-called third party to make you see sense, actually. But even then also, you need to assert some of your, your authority, because the other side was not willing to allow the mediator to come in, third party, kan. Jadi, Allah Ta'ala takdirkan that happened, insyaAllah. And from then on, it was amazing. After years later, then you see the wisdom of going through the stages that we went through, Ustaz, kan? With your help, kan? Applying the Sunnah. To me, that
when
was
you
amazing.
if you're guided, Allah will never put us down. Allah's plan is the best.
That's living proof.
Yeah. Allah punya hikmah, you just have to have trust in Allah.
Yeah.
Because who control the heart of every one of us? We cannot control. You cannot buy the heart over juga. Even you give money, kata dalam Quran sebut, you kumpullah harta semua banyak di dunia, you nak beli hati manusia, tak boleh. Manusia punya hati tak pernah puas. Nak lagi. Nanti tak habis you nak layan. Jadi yang uruskan hati manusia Allah. You just have to go back to Him. And then you must try to have that kind of hikmah lah, wisdom.
I think that is also true to the woman.
Correct.
Because woman is more, as you know, that we are more on the emotional side. But the wisdom tu, yang kita nak cari bila kita bersama dengan dalam rumah tangga, sama ada you ada anak atau tidak ada anak. Wanita tu, Ustaz, it's about how they play and they control their emotion and how strong they are. So if they know, like one hadith says that if you can control your anger,
you are a stronger person.
You're
A strong person.
The strongest person on earth is actually when
you can control.
when you
your
can control.
anger.
That means not just your anger, you can control yourself.
Emotion.
Your emotion too is where, this is where the left and the right brain lah, that is you are looking into with guidance. So Ustaz always remind us, whoever lah yang dalam rumah tangga ke, even when you are singles ke whatever, you have to have that guidance. Sabar tu dengan knowledge.
Correct.
Sabar itu dengan knowledge.
Sabar tu dengan knowledge.
That knowledge come from where? You boleh cari sendiri, tapi kadang-kadang kita sendiri pun tak merepek kan. So you have to find like a guru lah. Tapi kita nak kata jangan taksub pada satu guru ke whatever tu is another issue lah. But the thing is that the guidance must be from divine and it comes from a person who have knowledge as well. So kita kena engage lah as wife, as a mother, you have to do that, because then you will understand how strong you are in actually handling whatever the issues in the family lah, family matters, especially with your husband. Then you know where to draw the line. You know where to draw to say that, okay, this is the way to the path to Jannah. Others no need to layan.
Betul, biasanya kalau macam nak bercerai, bukanlah nak bercerai, maksudnya kalau situasi dah going towards there, there's gonna be mother saying this to father, mak cakap pasal bapa pada anak ni, bapa cakap pasal. So sebagai anak, what should we do? Should we let you mak? Ataupun macam astagfirullah mak, kecil pula hati mak. So anak ni pun pening ni.
Correct. Now you just remind me of something very important. Supaya saya terlupa. Kadang-kadang kalau anak-anak sudah besar, bila tengok mak bapak cara mereka nak selesai, nak bantu anak itu, mungkin pun tak kena. Tapi mak bapak sebagai mak bapak dia rasa, no, we are your parent. We know what is best for you, kan? Kemudian anak kadang-kadang sudah hilang sabar. Ada ujian lagi. Anak tinggikan suara. That also very wrong. Anak must know how to engage with the parent. Kalau parent dah terlalu involved, kemudian parent take side. Kadang-kadang dia nak salahkan sana pun bukanlah salah sana. Hanya saya pun ada masalah. Bukan. Kadang begitu. Dia pun ada masalah. Dia pun tahu saya tak sanggup. Saya tak boleh bagi kasih sayang kepada dia lagi. Saya yang salah, tapi saya tak cerita ke mak bapak. Bukan. Dia sabar, sana sabar. Tapi saya ada problem. Tapi mak bapak tak tahu. Mak bapak tahu itu problemnya. Akhirnya anak mesti ingat, kalau mak bapak dah cuba get involved and they are not coming in the right direction, kita sabar cakap, mak bapak, mak ayah, mak, terima kasih atas your concern, ya. Let me handle this thing. Ya, thank you for your advice. Kita jangan marah pula, kecewa. Inilah mak bapak pun problem. Ya. Mak bapak tak faham. Ya. Susahlah nak mak bapak marah pula, kan. Suddenly you tinggi suara depan mak, nanti dia marah lagi. No, you just listen. Orang tua, bila orang tua tahu, orang tua pun nak buat sesuatu, kan. Mungkin cara dia tak betul. Dia tak tahu, have no wisdom. Like you say, no guidance. Just follow feeling, kan. Allah dah kata, فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِ إِن كُنتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. See, the guidance is there in the Quran. That's why Allah say, I show you my way. Is in the Quran. Tapi kita baca tak faham. Faham tak ikut. Itu problem juga, kan. Jadi kalau you dah ada masalah, go back to Allah's way and the way of Prophet Muhammad SAW. Bukan tak ada berlaku penceraian di zaman Nabi. Berlaku. But you see, nobody jadi any issue. Because people know how to solve their problem. And accept the takdir and move on. So you tak timbul masalah sampai buku-buku tak tulis sejarah sahabat cerai ni, cerai bergaduh sampai pecah belah, pecah pinggan semuanya, flying saucer semua tak ada. Kita sekarang macam-macam court case, kan. Sampai dia pun tak boleh lah, file dah terlalu tinggi lah, kan. Dulu mana ada lawyer sangat. Jadi korang gangguan dulu. Lawyer tak campur tangan, kerana lawyer satu hal juga. Nak cari duit, kita hanya tahu sikit, dia tambah lebih lagi.
Batu api.
Akhirnya batu api lah. Kerana dia kes panjang, rezeki dia pun panjang. Ini semua dan niat semua dah tak betul. So mak bapak kadang kalau dia suka nak terlibat, tapi kadang tak tahu. Tapi sebagai mak bapak, dia nak cakap lah, tanpa dengar. Dan kita sebagai anak, jangan tinggi suara. Walaupun kita tahu, kata mereka tak kena. We just say, terima kasih Pak, ayah, nasihat ayah itu. Alhamdulillah, ibu pun. Tapi insyaAllah, doakan supaya saya akan selesai ini. Ya, dengan cara yang terbaik. We must calm them down also. Kalau tidak, sana pula berapi pula. Kita sini tenang, sana tak tenang. Ni apa ni, maulah lah.
Kadang anak-anak tu Ustaz, kalau dia tak boleh nak cakap benda yang sebenarnya tu, dia dah marah sangat, just hug the parents pun
Pun boleh.
Just hug them.
Just hug.
That's what I always do if I
Let
not
them
really-
feel that you are, you know,
you
thank you lah.
respecting, yeah.
You respect
You
dia
respecting
punya
and you also say thank
niat
you
yang
to them.
baik.
Tapi kita nak cakap tu kita takut.
takut.
Takut benda yang
Salah.
salah. Jadi all you need to do is just to hug them. That's it.
I tak mampu. I buat ni nervous laugh. Okay lah. Sebab tak tahu nak betulkan macam mana. Like that.
Yalah.
But kadang words kita tu
Important
Betul,
is our
yes.
words. Pertama, don't raise up your voice with your parents.
Yeah.
There's no way you
Right.
can do that.
cannot.
Macam katalah seorang isteri lah yang nak dicerai, memanglah selalu bila penceraian, masyarakat kita pun dia pelik sikit. We don't have that pressure in the early time of Islam. Masyarakat semua very mature, they know how to handle things. Sekarang kadang-kadang pressure dari masyarakat. Ya. Kita perempuan jangan bagi orang bully kita. Dia ingat kita dibully. Bukanlah dibully. Bukan. Kita lelaki jangan jadi dayus. No. Bukan bunga sekentum. Lah. Dia cari-cari bunga-bunga pula. Bukan. Dia berapi-api. Kan? Jadi that is not right. That is feel that this is also our family. Bukan? Kawan kita punya is part of our family. Ini anak orang. Perempuan ni isteri kawan kita. Cuba anak kita. You must have that feeling. Cuba you perasa itu anak you. How do you feel? You nak hina dia ke? Nobody is perfect. Kalau there is a way to solve, we solve it properly. Kalau tak boleh, we find another way out. What do you really want? Oh, dia kata, kalau adalah urusan, kadang orang yang hold on because of barang tau, dunia. Kita pun kena in life. What do you think is more important? Your freedom more important or money more important? What do you think? If you ask me, I think your freedom have more value. Kerana barang kamu lawan. Akhirnya siapa rugi? Kita nak cerita, nak aibkan, nak bongkar-bongkar lagi. At the end, kita sendiri yang aib. So we must put the right value sekarang. What is more valuable to you? So that's why even anak nak cakap dengan mak bapak, dia kena ada adab. Mak bapak niat baik tapi kita dengan cara dia tak betul. Kita jangan kata, mak bapak, you tak tahu. Maulah mak bapak kecewa. Terima kasih. Tapi doakanlah untuk saya. Untuk anak. And then you try to find the better way out already. Because mak bapak pun tak mau kita gaduh-gaduh. Dia pun tak suka. Bukan? So everybody want to have a good ending. Because macam saya katakan, the father-in-law and mother-in-law of the husband is their in-law forever.
Kita kalau dah cerai, kena jaga aurat balik kan, Syekh?
No, betul-in-law tidak.
Bukan. Maksud kalau macam suami isteri dah cerai,
Dah habis, kena pakai tudung balik. Dia bukan mahram
bapak
lagi.
tak payah kan?
Tak ada.
Ya, orang tutur kata tak batal semayang.
Yes.
See,
tapi
that one you must honor tau. You must remember your children is their grandparent. Takut nanti you terlalu emotional marah sampai tak bagi anak you jumpa atuk mereka. Oh kerana mak bapak ini pro sana. That's why mak bapak main peranan penting. Have a good ending and then accept this is your bekas son-in-law. And this is your cucu. Kalau tidak cucu jadi mangsa. Kan? Cucu ni nak pergi. Tak boleh.
Their ties are still
You
valid.
cannot. You cannot cut off that relationship. You may have a good ending. You give the best, but the grandchildren must honor two grandparents. Go there when they need you. Go there. You tak boleh kata, ini grandparent nak tengok cucu. Mesti buat permohonan dulu.
Ataupun dia sepatutnya anak pergi dekat
Contoh.
dia ni,
Ayah.
tapi ayah dia yang kena pergi jumpa.
Contohnya. That is
Macam
not
tu yang
wise anymore. You can say, you can even tanya, bila nak pergi tengok atuk? No?
Betul.
You must
Still
jaga.
boleh ada civilization lah kat situ.
Of course, there's a lot of goodness, adab. Jadi akhirnya children don't miss anything because they still have, only not together. And one time kan, they get the best here, they get the best there. So there's nothing to complain.
Very civil.
Kan?
Very civil.
Very civil. And then you see how
The laws
beautiful
of Islam is
the
amazing.
Islamic punya family law tentang munakahat. Cantik. Tapi oleh kerana we don't follow the Islamic guideline, itulah we end up become enemy lah.
Oh, most probably Ustaz, what do you think is because of the third party yang mereka macam, for example, friends and also whatever lah, dia ada sebelah punya family ke yang membakar, that sort of thing lah Ustaz kan. The third party ni very important Ustaz kan.
Of course.
So, kalau macam dapat yang jenis suka memisahkan, that is a problem tu.
Kadang-kadang atuk pula main peranan yang tak bagus. You have a lot of issue. Kadang atuk pula pergi cerita lah, kata ini begini. Wah, everything was so okay before. Tiba mungkin adalah sedikit misunderstanding kan. Lepas tu atuk mula campaign dah. Aku yang menantu ni memang jahat. Mula lah. Okay.
Dulu memang tak pernah berkenan orang ni.
Mula lah.
Time tu lah.
Jadi dia ini memang tak ada hati perut. Kan. When you use the approach, you're going to create more problem already. Then now, this is the parent. This is the son of this woman, children of this woman. That's your in-law. You hurt her, then she may want to be very protective now. She will not let the children go and see this grandparent. Because no point. Dia takut dan grandparent poison the grandchildren pula. You say, that is what can happen. So Islam is about every day come back to patience, control, terima takdir. And then let us think about the good memory yang everybody have dulu. That's all. Now they have a good ending. Alhamdulillah.
If I may share lah, sebab kalau biasa orang tanya saya macam whether they should stay or should they leave.
Okay.
I would always, kalau perempuan lah tanya, I would always ask them to refer this to women of the deen. Yang pertama Asiyah radhiyallahu anha. Ada suami jahat pun dia sabar je because her eyes is on the prize. Maksudnya suami teruk pun aku sabar, aku nak syurga. Dia punya attack nak syurga je.
Jalan ke syurga.
Yang kedua kalau nak tinggalkan tak ada teruknya, contoh macam Ummu Habibah. Ummu Habibah diberi category of the husband, you want to stay with me, you murtad. If not, and then Ummu Habibah cakap, okay, I choose Allah. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam pinang Ummu Habibah. So sebenarnya nak stay boleh, nak tinggalkan pun boleh. Cuma at the end of the day we have to know and understand kat mana kita nak dan apa kita nak kan. So ada tak share macam nak bagi sedikit pujukan kepada kat luar sana yang tengah contemplating ni, macam nak cerai ke tidak, nak cerai ke tidak. If somebody out there is macam baru je malam tadi istikharah, lepas tu mungkin this is like a sign for them. So anything that you want to speak out to anak-anak kita kat luar sana.
I think the best thing is always we have to sit down dulu. We have to discuss. Tak boleh benda-benda penceraian ni tak boleh terburu-buru lah. Walaupun kita sudah ada problem, kita nak tengok. Kalau problem bukan datang daripada si perempuan isteri, kan? Then we also want to check what is the problem from the other side. We want to know. Kalau problem tu datang dari other side, we have to engage with the other side already. What do you think is best for you? Tak ada. Kalau dia kata, I've been trying but dia degil lah. Malah selalu ada complain. Okay. So I always believe in discussion. Tak boleh jump to conclusion. Because you don't hear from two party, you cannot help them. You must be fair to two party. Kadang-kadang mungkin dua-dua pun betul. Itu yang pelik tu. Kadang-kadang dua-dua pun betul. Hanya kebetulan memang kesepahaman tak ada. They just cannot come to any kind of conclusion. My way pun betul, their way pun betul, dua-dua pun betul. Tapi hanya dia ada clash. So we find we have to meet, diskusi. Oh, ada betul juga, you kata. Kau yang kita tanya, you rasa apa yang dia kata itu betul tak? Tapi dia pentingkan diri dia, dia punya cara saja. You pun ada cara you kan? Kadang-kadang you pun nak cara you juga kan? So actually it's just the same thing. Hanya kebetulan kerana kita punya kepahaman, we are not open to it. You also want your way. Kebetulan kawan itu pula keras, dia way pula. Saya bagi a simple example. Bila ada problem dalam rumah, rosak apa, saya nak cepatlah. Betul kan? Bukan. Suami pun tahu, okey. InsyaAllah saya selesaikan. Tak selesai. Suami take his time. Nanti saya jumpa kawan kontraktor, ya, dah 2 hari. Isteri dah tak boleh tahan. Saya dah cakap dengan you semalam. You kata esok, ini dah 2 hari. Mulalah. Dah masa. Kalau you tak sabar, si isteri tak sabar, apa isteri akan buat?
Cerai ke saya? Awak ni dulu macam ni lah ni. Kita datang lah.
Mungkin dia kata, sudahlah, saya urus. Kan? Okey juga. There's nothing wrong. You urus cepat. You tahu dia nak cepat. By right, senang saja. Kalau you tahu orang tu mau benda itu cepat, segerakan apa yang you nak delay. Why must you delay? I don't know. Kadang kita hanya, to us, no rush lah. Tapi you know that person, the other party memang very particular. Bila benda itu kerosak, dia nak dibetulkan. Dan benda itu memang boleh betulkan dalam 5 minit saja. Tak buat juga. Itu yang buat kadang-kadang pening kepala tu. So kadang we men also must be handy. The wife also must be practical. Both side lah. Kerana ini saja boleh bergaduh. Just kerana timing saja. Itu yang datang kesabaran pula. Sabarlah. Benda itu mengganggu kerja-kerja lain. Tidak. Memang aku tak boleh tengok. Benda dah blow tu, tukarlah bau. Ya. Bukan susah. Tapi kerana lambat-lambat, saya panggil lah. Electric man. Nanti sini cemburu pula. Sabarlah. Bukan saya tak nak buat. Mula dah jadi isu. So I would say to the party, kalau benda boleh buat sendiri, just do it. Tak sampai 10 minit, problem solve. Tapi kerana itu yang kata, kita biar. You know this side particular, fast. Do it habis cerita. It's how you solve problem actually. Benda itu memang boleh buat, tapi saja I take my own time.
Subhanallah, this is sebenarnya macam you fix marriage problem sebenarnya.
It's true.
Macam biasanya both pasangan ni expect the other one to be like this. This one pula macam ni, macam sebenarnya benda senang.
Benda senang. Tapi saja kerana kita ada my time, I take my time. You nak rush, saya take my sweet time. Clash. Malah apa saja. Normally kalau saya ajak kawan-kawan, kalau itu, what? Susah nak buat. Bagi tahu saya datang buat hari. Susah. Kalau kita nak bantulah kan. Kalau anak rasa mak bapak tu, anak pula bantu. Actually, that you selesai. That's why agama pun kata, anything good, be hasten. Jangan lambat-lambat. Ini another contoh lah. Saya suka bagi contoh.
Saya suka dengan contoh.
Jadi kadang yang kita nak isteri masak. Kita mau isteri masak cepat pula. Kalau lambat-lambat, Grab sajalah. Grab tak sedap. Home cooked food is different. People cook with love. No? Bukan commercial punya, ini with love. Kan? Lain barakat dia. Tapi perkakas selalu tak cukup. Ini korang, itu korang. Lambatlah. Kalau you mau isteri itu masak, you suka masak, makan rumah. Apa keperluan dapur yang you rasa boleh memudahkan si isteri? Contoh, Go and prepare this. Apa you nak ini. Apa you nak cukup. I prepare all the thing that you need.
So true.
Nampak tak? Ini you tak buat, you tak harap ini. Saya lah kena fikir. Nak masak pun saya kena fikir. Nak pergi pasar pun saya kena pergi. Kemudian alat tak cukup, saya kena pergi cari. Ini apa cerita ni kan? And that's why they said, husband and wife complement one another. Paling baik, kalau tidak, kerana isu dapur, bergaduh. Kan? Ada pepatah dulu, orang kata, there was one jemaah saya yang datang kata, you know what I always do, Syekh dia kata, I always say, Jannati is my kitchen. My kitchen is my Jannah. Dan orang kata, my house is my Jannah. Bukan. You want a best environment at home. So you create the good environment. Apa yang you rasa tak sempurna, you boleh campur tangan. Buat. That's how life move on. Help each other. Children ada, engage the children. Nak kan bantu ayah? Tolong bawa ini, tolong betulkannya. Mak dia buat kerja lain, kita buat kerja lain. So kalau semua orang bekerja, Allahu Akbar, you feel so, orang kata, so peaceful tau. Everybody participate. And everybody have a good dinner lepas tu. Everybody try to clean up together. I feel memanglah, happiness is not just one must sacrifice. Everybody must sacrifice. Semua orang dah tangguhkan. You buatlah. Give her lah a helping hand. Tangan ada, buat apa.
Rumah tangga ni Ustaz, betul salah satu daripada syurga dunia lah.
Correct, betul. You start from
Salah satu. Other than that is if you don't have children, your husband and wife, your relationship is also syurga dunia. Tu yang kita payah nak cari. Kalau orang yang tak faham, jadi tak dapat lah syurga dunia.
Dapat lah.
Dapat syurga neraka dunia.
Azab.
Neraka dunia pun orang boleh rasa.
You know, even the house is big kadang, but it has no happiness. Bukan? Setengah orang you tengok, rumah banyak kecil, happy. Bukan? Kita tengok kesian, dia okey.
Tapi dia okey.
Kita yang nampak hebat-hebat, tapi dalam hati, I'm not happy. Actually, I'm not happy. So happiness itu yang kata Nabi kan, kekayaan, kesenangan hakiki bukan bergantung pada harta benda. Are you contented with what you have? If you're contented with what you have, you are thankful to Allah, there will be a lot of peace and happiness.
So that's why Ustaz, when my zauji masak taucu Ustaz, subhanallah, syurga dunia Ustaz.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, barakah dia lah macam Ustaz.
Sikit ya.
So when I cook the other one, nasi ayam Hainan.
She's the best.
He loved it so much and then I will say, syurga dunia.
I'm smiling too. Macam yes right
So
now.
in other words, what you need to do is, untuk orang-orang di luar sana yang your network, find that syurga dunia.
Subhanallah.
Sebelum sampai kat syurga yang betul.
You've let the cat out of the bag. Now you have to invite Ustaz to your nasi ayam.
We always last time we invited Ustaz to come to our house. That time was the starting of the economic downturn. So we wanted to become, the come to the chef sort of thing. So we wanted to do that. So we invited Ustaz. Ustaz, okay, test our menu. So tapi lepas pada tu kita buat architecture balik dah lupa. But now that's what we do. We just find
since the lockdown is macam-macam
resipi kita belajar ni.
Again, I think the lockdown situation ke banyak ujian juga.
Betul.
Banyak ujian.
But the only thing is that if you know that there is an ujian for that one, you just have to turn.
Adjustment.
The person who knows how to turn it in terms of when you are a couple or when you have a children, how to turn that thing to be syurga dunia is the one of the strongest person lah, I think, at this pandemic time.
Macam Syah cakap tadi, macam sekarang ni orang dah terpaksa macam hadap, macam benda-benda kecil-kecil selama ni dia tiba-tiba magnify. So if your decision to have a divorce is because of COVID ke, cuba fikir panjang dulu. Maybe this is just circumstantial ke apa kan, kita tak tahu. Always cari orang yang lebih berilmu untuk tolong nasihat, yang tidak bias kiri kanan, insya-Allah. This has been a very very exciting topic, subhanallah, sampai 2 episod kita buat KKYTV. And thank you so much Amalan, Kak Fiza, for this opportunity. Thank you so much Syekh sebab sudi menjawab soalan ni. Macam I'm very sure di luar sana dapat macam-macam, you know, pling kat kepala tu. So insya-Allah have sabar, kalau mampu sabar, selagi ia syar'i, sabar. Apa-apa sekalipun insya-Allah sentiasa patah balik kepada Allah, patah balik kepada Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Engage lah.
Engage.
Important, jangan cari lagi kelemahan sesiapa. Semua orang ada kelemahan.
Semua.
Let us work together, find a better way to solve the problem. And everybody must sacrifice. Suasana sekarang, anak sacrifice, bapa sacrifice, mak pun sacrifice. Then you understand what is sacrifice sekarang. Kalau sikit-sikit dah maulah meradang. Sikit-sikit, that means you tak faham apa itu pengorbanan. Bukan? Jadi, we hope suasana yang Allah dah uji kita ini will make the Muslims stronger, better, and unite the family together. Because this is the best time the family can be together. Other than time, family everybody busy. Bukan? You have a lot of reason. Tak ada masa. But this is the time, you have no excuse. And then this is the time for you to engage untuk eratkan silaturahim and do activity together.
Cakap pasal activity together, I personally would suggest untuk pasangan, mulakan tengok ceramah sama-sama sesama suami isteri dan anak-anak. Because sometimes kita nak tegur pasangan, kita tak reti. So biasanya kita minta tolong penceramah kat depan tu, kita tengok tajuk yang sesuai kan, kita tengok sama-sama. So maybe dekat situ kita boleh dapat jawapan ke, insya-Allah lah. Sebab tak semua orang ada bakat nak melafazkan masalah tu. Dan lagi satu pesanan, jangan terlalu ramai sangat mendengar masalah kita. If you share your problem to so many people, you are going to hear so many responses and you are going to get so confused. So just follow back Quran dan Sunnah. Senang aja, 2 je. Dan dua-dua tu saling sama, tak ada beza. Jadi you have one correct way. Simple as that, insya-Allah.
Mengadu pada Allah.
Mengadu pada Allah.
Yang mengadu pada even your parents. Sometimes your parents doesn't want to know. Because it's, my parents senang aja. You pilih ke? Yeah. Okay. When you pilih, you better know what you are doing. You must know what you are doing.
Subhanallah.
So doa banyak-banyak pada Allah.
There's always a way to solve our problem.
Yes.
Itu yang bila isu apa-apa balik pada Quran Sunnah, Allah kata apa? Fas'alu ahli zikri.
Betul. Yes.
Ahli zikri are people who know what Allah want us to do. Because the zikir ini is Quran.
Doa.
Dan
Zikir pun
kemudian,
doa juga.
zikir pun doa, tapi the word zikir is a reminder.
Yes.
So get the right person who can remind you correctly. Then alhamdulillah. That's why zaman Nabi, kalau Nabi ada, semua back to him. Kalau dia tak ada, they back to the elders who have knowledge. Not just elder, tapi tak ada knowledge. Dan knowledge yang kita maksud di sini ialah apa yang Allah berfirman, divine, and what the Prophet said. Settle. Memang
Settle
settle.
sebenarnya, Ustaz.
Baru semua kembali kepada apa?
Alas.
Semua kembali pada asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. To Allah we return back, and then the way to Allah is Prophet Muhammad SAW. This is what Islam is about. So we have the best example from the Prophet. We have the best reference, the Holy Quran. The only thing, we are not being a best follower.
Yes.
It's time for us to be a best follower. So, inshallah, we are always ready to help whoever need our help. We only want people to be to be truthful and to engage with us. Yeah, through Fin Jamal, you have your contact. You know, we are all here to help one another. Actually, kan, emotionally, you know, spiritually. So I believe ini lebih penting dalam suasana pandemik sekarang. Actually, there's a lot of benefit lah. Through my point of view. Bila saya tengok apa yang berlaku, banyak dia ambil kebaikan. For us and our family. Itu yang kata Allah, ku anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. This is the best time. So that we prepare ourselves, one, suasana dah berubah, dah terbuka balik. Orang panggil istilah apa? The new norm kan?
The new norm, yes.
Kan? But to us, it's not new norm.
This is the correct norm.
Should be the norm.
That is the norm.
norm.
We have to go back to the normal teaching of Islam. Nothing new. Islam is there already.
Tak boleh berpegang.
You just have to follow the rule. Allah dah letak SOP dah cantik. Selama ni semua dah langgar kiri, langgar kanan, depan, belakang.
Tak payah
All
SOP
breaking. Bukan?
Dah tak payah SOP baru.
Jadi tak payah. Allah punya SOP so beautiful. Hanya orang feel to look into what Allah want you to do.
Dari dahulu sampailah ke akhirat.
So it's a wake-up call. So don't miss the opportunity. Everything that Allah takdir, there's a lot of wisdom. Especially for families sekarang. Work together. Reflect. And then you can see insyaAllah bila dia dah lulus, we are not going to be loose again like before. Bukan kita tunggu tentang bila dah terbuka nanti kita jadi macam born free. Wah, free to do anything. That is very dangerous. You see, this is the time for us to now to know what is not good for you. Stay away. The environment that is not good for you, don't go. Always save yourself from problem. I personally believe everything happen, Allah knows best. By going back to Him, problem solved. So may Allah guide us, protect us, and also our leader. We all believe Muslim leader always want to do the best, but they need support. They need our patience, not to keep on pointing at them, blaming them. You will become a leader, you understand. Yes. You also need support. So when there is a leader there, you support dia lah. When you become leader, orang lain support. Kalau semua nak tak betul, you naik pun orang kata you tak betul. Akhirnya tak ada satu yang betul. You see, that's how life is. Please be humble, be patient, and apa yang Allah takdir, who is the leader, we just give all the support we can. And then the leader can move better. And then we show good example. And then the same thing goes, nanti we become a leader. Other people, dia tengok kita ada show good example, they also will follow up good example. Who will profit at the end of the day? Everybody. Everybody will be happy. But dengan suasana kita masih tak puas, akhirnya memang kita semua akan rugi. So this is not the time for us to pinpoint at others, complain. It's for them to think, how can we work together? Wa ta'awanu 'ala birri wat taqwa. Wa la ta'awanu 'ala ismi wal udwan. Always remember these words of Allah. Always prepare to help one another for anything that bring benefit, and also to get closer to God. And don't ever help one another to commit sin and create hatred among yourself. That will give everybody a good future. So we pray for the goodness of everybody, and semoga Allah terima amalan kita, doa kita hari Jumaat.
Amin.
Dan semoga Allah pelihara kita, keluarga kita, negara kita dari semua bentuk fitnah. Amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin.
Amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you so much, Syekh, for all this. Thank you so much, Kak Fiza. Thank you so much, Abang Lan. InsyaAllah di lain masa kita akan ada dengan topik yang lebih best, insyaAllah harapnya. Kalau tak best pun best je, insyaAllah. So jangan lupa untuk subscribe AKY TV. Dan kita habiskan perbualan kita hari ini dengan tasbih kifarah.
Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. That's all for Parenting Pening. Jangan pening-pening sangat.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.